Alright, folks, I literally just now got done listening to Selling England by the Pound by Genesis from 1973. Oh, the last few days I've just been pushing to get this done, and not because I'm impatient, but because there's a certain part of me that I need to see something finished, and when I do get close to the end, my focus just narrows. And it's been growing on me. So, let me pause there, do my proper introduction, and then I'll resume my reaction. Good afternoon, I am Brian, you are Chords and Notes Nation, and this is another full album reaction, Selling England by the Pound by Genesis from 1973. For those of you who are members of Chords and Notes Nation, that means those of you who have subscribed and hopefully clicked that notification icon, you are well aware of the fact that this is my first journey into, I guess, Gabriel era Genesis. For those of you who are seeing this for the first time, aren't familiar, I have done a series of first-time listen song reactions to each of the tracks on this album. I did it in random order on purpose so that when I could come back and listen to the album from beginning to end the way it should be, I would have a deeper appreciation or a different appreciation. And that holds true. I'll get to that in a minute. Oh, maybe I'll get to it now. I don't know what else I need to say about that. Anyways, this album has become an album that I want to purchase. I don't know if it'll be vinyl, CD, download, that sort of thing. But, and that's saying a big deal because I don't just buy anything to buy it. I'm very particular about my music collection. And for those of you interested, at some point I will be creating a Patreon page, and maybe one of those tiers will include sneak peeks at my music collection, which is right over there, and it's probably bugging you because it's like, if you just turned the camera, we'd see it. No. Anyways, back to Selling England by the Pound. You know, the title itself is a statement, and from the 70s, I'm going to venture to guess that, you know, we're dealing with the rise in the American capitalist system and how England is being culturally sold by the pound. I'm sure that's when, you know, stuff like McDonald's and all that started going over there, and this sense of losing a cultural identity, which is very real in under any circumstances, any time. I mean, back when Great Britain was an empire and ruled a quarter of the world, and their globalist economy was in charge, basically. I'm sure there were a lot of cultures that felt the same. And that goes to any time you have a superpower. You know, you can name all of them. Alexander the Great, Rome, Genghis Khan, and the Mongols. The list goes on and on and on and on. And so that's where I think this album was intending its aim. Musically, see, now, when I listen to the individual tracks, I will take more analysis of the lyrics. And when I listen to the album as a whole, it's listening to it as a whole, and my focus isn't so much on the lyrics unless there's something that stands out. And that's true in this case. You know, there were a lot of cultural references and implications and whatnot that I'm not going to... It's going to go right over my head. I'm not English. So unless I'm immersed in the culture or at least somewhat familiar, it's, you know, inferences are what's going to lead me to hopefully correct conclusions. But that's going to take a little bit of mental focus in order to think it through, and that wasn't the purpose of this listen. So what I got out of it was the musical brilliance of Genesis on this album. Very clean, very crisp, very precise, very energetic, restrained, and diverse. And when I say restrained, here's what I mean. They can do whatever they want, but they did what they chose to do. So they offered some sort of restraint. They didn't just do it for the sake of doing it. And it was very whimsical, both lyrically and musically at times. It was serious at times. It was, it just put me in the right mood mentally. It was great music to have listening. It was 53 minutes long, and I'm not going to say it didn't feel like 53 minutes. It certainly did, but that's not a bad thing. It was a full 53 minutes of just listening pleasure, and it's rapidly become one of the top ones on my list that I need to get. And I'm really, really grateful that you guys had suggested this album and tracks off this album, because otherwise I probably wouldn't even be here doing this. So fantastic. Hackett, Steve Hackett, I believe his name is, as the guitarist. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Loved. As you can tell, I have. Maybe you can't. I have a guitar here. I play guitar. I teach guitar, or have taught guitar as well. And Steve Hackett is, believe it or not, a name that wasn't really known to me. Which is weird, because apparently he went and did a one-album project with Steve Howe, who was known to me, or is known to me. And so kind of interesting there. But now I know, and I really respected his composition, his craft, his tone that he used, both with the electric and the acoustic, of course. So the singing was wonderful, mostly Gabriel, sometimes Collins, and which it's fine, you know, that's what they do. And everyone contributed multiple things, it sounds like. Instruments. Try not to use the generalized terms, but that's what happens. Things. It's a really good listen. Really, really good listen. I have another album that I have to finish off, an Angra album, Holy Land. So I'm going to turn my focus to that and commit to finishing that, hopefully sometime this week. And eventually I'm going to get back around to Genesis. So you guys, if you have anything else Genesis related, please let's start another journey on an album. Let me know. And for those of you who are from the United Kingdom, I would like to see the amount of views go up. Every week I check in to see where we're at, and the United Kingdom is third, a distant third. It's the United States, then Brazil, and then the United Kingdom is a distant third. I have a lot more to offer, and I will do more English music if that's what it takes. But I'd like to see the views go up, and so if you could please just, you know, pick some random videos that I've done. I'm not gonna beg, because I am. Please. You guys take care. I will talk to you soon, and that's all I have. Thanks.